Now, Donald Trump's recent warning over India's Russian oil purchases has put New Delhi in a very difficult position. The American president has been on a sudden offensive, threatening additional penalties if India continues to purchase oil and military equipment from Moscow. This marks a sharp departure from Biden administration's earlier tolerance. Now, India, which is the second largest purchaser of Russian crude after China, imported 1.75 million barrels a day in the first half of 2025, up from just 100,000 barrels a day before the Ukraine war. Now, despite Trump's stance, India is showing no signs of backing down. Officials have argued that these are long-term oil contracts that cannot be struck down overnight. New Delhi has also said that its purchases have helped stabilize the global oil prices and have avoided inflationary spikes. The government has said that its energy decisions are guided by price, availability and national interest and not geopolitics. The message is clear. Energy security comes first. India has also highlighted the hypocrisy of the West, saying that both the United States and the European Union have been purchasers of Russian goods despite sanctions. India now finds itself caught between two strategic partners, Russia for affordable energy and the United States for trade and investment. The United States remains India's top export market, accounting for nearly 33% of the total merchandise exports. And analysts have warned that the Trump-led pressure campaign could strain this balance. India may explore other suppliers like Iran or OPEC if exemptions are negotiated. But for now, though, it is holding the line. All right, now joining us on the broadcast, we've got Mr. Andrei Gubin, who is an international relations professor at the Far Eastern Federal University, Vladivostok International Relations Analyst. Thank you very much indeed, sir, for joining us here on WION. And let me in fact start off by asking you this. Now, Donald Trump, as a part of his tariff war, is not just focused on economic and financial issues. What he's doing is he is wedding these geopolitical issues with his tariff war. Do you think this is a strategy that can succeed in the long term?
Well, the American president, Donald Trump, is both a businessman and a showman. And he's doing all the best he wants and he can to cement the starting position for negotiations with major partners, including Asian nations, including India, Japan, South Korea, and almost every American partner and even ally, even former ally. And this is a very acute challenge to all the countries. I mean, this kind of American position to start with a very uneasy question: will you pay more for your security, or will you pay more with this kind of very, right to have a beneficial trade with the United States, to have a stable access to American market? So this is a privilege by the opinion of American president. But actually, is it true or not? Probably it's a question to be resolved by both parties.
Now, what is interesting is this. Donald Trump seems to be accusing countries that trade with Russia, who purchase the Russian hydrocarbons, as in many ways financing the Russian war in Ukraine. But what is also interesting and important to point out is both the United States and nations of the European Union have not completely cut off their trade relations with Russia. Is there a clear hypocrisy in the American position?
Yes, that is absolutely true. As the European Union and almost every American former ally cut the major trade flux and investment with Russia because of the crisis in Ukraine and the comprehensive crisis of security in Europe. But there are a lot of different shadow schemes and different gray schemes, and some of the countries, including U.S. former allies, including South Korea and Japan, for instance, they're trying to restore economic ties with Russia, and they actually never stopped business ties with Russia. Well, they diminished significantly, but never stopped. So that's an absolutely hypocrisy from the stance of the United States to have such a very strong claim to India, which is quite independent in its foreign policy and trade, to cut all ties with Russia because, for the opinion of American president, you just finance the war. That's not true. It's a trick.
Indeed. Thank you very much indeed, Professor Andrew Gubin, for joining us with that perspective there, because this is quite clearly a very hypocritical position that the American president has taken.